Welcome to Conversations with Masesi, where my guest and I talk about everything life, family, love, community, and everything in between. Autism doesn't come with an instruction manual. It comes with a family who never gives up. In the journey of navigating the complexities of autism, families become the architects of unwavering love, advocates of resilience, and champions of endless possibilities. Alex and Lauren are here to converse about the different programs the community can access at the Autism Services of Saskatoon. Good to have you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
I'm so happy to have this conversation with you. So, like I just said, we're going to talk about how your program specifically address the needs of families. Mm-hmm. So, give us the program overview.
Well, we have a number of programs. So I'm the director of the Autism Intervention Program. Mm-hmm. So we serve children and youth 0 to 19 years old, as well as their families. And so that could be more on a consultation basis. It could be providing direct services. We also have mental health and wellness support as well. So it really is, I guess, sort of an all-encompassing sort of service when you think about it, in terms of having families access as well, so supporting caregivers and parents, siblings as well, and then working directly with clients. Mm-hmm. And then we have our community home and day program department as well, so residential and day program support for adults with autism and intellectual disability, and the ABA Little Tots program, the early intervention.
So ABA support. Stands for?
Applied Behavior Analysis.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes.
And that's an evidence-based approach that we've utilized for a long time, and we found a lot of success with it. So that's sort of a general basis of how a lot of our departments developed. But recreation therapy, that's kind of what we stand for in a nutshell. But making sure that we address all ages who are seeking service as well.
Yeah. Wow. Are your programs tailored for individual families, or how are they? How's the support tailored for families? Because different families have different needs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say definitely, like, individuals that we serve are all unique, and so would their families be. So we do really try to tailor and individualize services to the family. So it's really about open lines of communication, finding out what families are looking for, what the individuals are looking for, what their goals are, and then how do we support them with those goals. And sometimes in terms of an intervention approach, it might be looking specifically at skills and kind of doing a little bit of a snapshot assessment of some of those skills. And a lot of the time it could just be, helping to navigate for like resources in the community based on what families are needing. And so it's a lot of that sort of continuous back and forth communication, just to make sure that we are meeting their needs, and we adjust things if we need to make it meaningful for families in their lives.
And who's involved in all this assessing? Like, what kind of professionals do you guys have in your space that will be assessing different needs for families?
Mm-hmm.
Well, once a child or person in general gets diagnosed, they're generally referred to our business.
Yes.
And like I said, the first point of contact was an intake. That's the person that you want to talk to get introduced to Autism Services. And then from there, we, as Lauren said, we want to listen to what the family needs.
Yes.
We have a very, call it like a neurodiversity affirming approach, where we're not looking to fix anyone. We just are looking to provide support. And it can be very complex depending on the nature of their child as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. You are not there to fix anyone. So are there any educational resources for families that have somebody, who lives with autism?
Plenty.
Yeah.
Where do we begin?
Yeah, I would say our website, since revamping it, is a really good resource for families to access. So we have a whole resource section there. reaching out, if you are involved with Autism Services, any one of our professionals or staff would be able to sort of point you in the right direction as to what you might be needing specifically, topic-wise. But also the Government of Saskatchewan does have a website as well that also references other resources. I would encourage everyone to just kind of take a look at the website and get connected and ask questions. We always you don't have to necessarily be a client or a member to reach out and contact us and just say, hey, I'm looking for this information. We always kind of take calls like that and are pointing people in the direction that they're kind of needing to go.
You know, when you get a diagnosis, and as a family, one person can be diagnosed, but it affects everybody in the family. So how do you guys support family members? When I get a diagnosis, obviously my mom and dad, they'll go into shock and do whatever it is that they need to do as parents. Do you have something that supports parents that have children with autism?
Well, in a lot of our departments, we want heavy involvement from the parents, because when we're creating and developing and implementing all these programs, if it stops there and it's not carried on after our programming is done, then you're not really maintaining that level of progress that we want. So again, keeping that open line of communication with their parents is huge for just like every child's progress, because they're the ones who are with their children the most. We're just professionals trying to help them. So just always getting that parental feedback, like, hey, what's going on with your child today? Is it different from last week? Is this a new emerging behavior that's coming out, or is it something that's just kind of getting stuck and we're still working through it? So
that's right.
It can be very complex.
Yeah, it is. Because sometimes I think as parents, we get shocked, then we're in denial, and we just want to not think about anything. So when you guys come in and you help me as a parent to go through this step by step, obviously I'll get a buy-in and say, okay, we're here for the betterment of the child or whoever is in our family that needs help. So I want us to talk about the future plan of the organization, because you mentioned now you've added more programs. Are there more coming in, or are you expanding to another side of the city?
We always want to expand.
Yeah.
We have a lot of families knocking on our door looking for service. The reality is we're approaching capacity with much of what we do.
Yeah.
And I think it's our responsibility to continue to push other external avenues for funding.
Yes.
Because we are a nonprofit organization
That's right,
still. So we need to continue to generate more funds in order to get more people into our service and help them right away, because we don't want to become that agency that wait lists until the end of time either. So it's a balancing act, and it requires effort beyond our doors, but we do really great work. We are tapped out, but we're enjoying being tapped out, because that means people want service from us.
So much service needed. And the feedback from families. Can you share one feedback that really made your heart leap for joy to say, we're doing the right thing?
I can think of a couple of examples. We do constantly sort of seek out that feedback and are always looking for feedback. But there was a client, a younger client under the age of 5 that was working with our speech language pathologist, and just a quick little feedback survey. But from that survey that we got from the parents, the phrase that was used was, "You saved our lives." And it's quick and it's not, but it really hits home. And it's heartfelt work that we do.
That's right.
The support that we provide. And we really enjoy getting feedback from families. And even if it's not, working out in the way that they want it to, we're always looking to adjust and make it meaningful for them.
Right,
so we really celebrate those pieces of positive feedback and pass that along to the team. But we really do take all feedback into consideration. And and work with all of it. Consider
That's
it in all of our
right, yeah.
programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
And do you have any feedback from your side that is heartwarming? I like heartwarming stories.
Heartwarming stories are pretty fun. One that always stood out for me was when I used to work in the ABA department, the Little Tots department. We were teaching this child how to just say bye and hi independently to their parents
Yes.
when they walked out the door for the day and then came back home.
Yeah.
And I mean, in a typical setting, this might take a few days, but in this instance, it took a few months. But finally, like with rigorous work and a lot of prompting and just talking, I remember being in the lobby one day and the kid just suddenly said it to his dad when he arrived. And his dad was just like, that's the first time he said that to me in my life. And the kid was 5, so it was moments like that where I'm like, I'm very proud of that moment. I'm proud of the agency I work for, and I'm proud that I could just do something to help this family and kind of just give some added light to what they live through every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. As our conversation concludes, I'm grateful for the enlightenment both of you have provided and their unwavering dedication to supporting families. Your roles hold immense significance, and I'm hopeful about positive impact Autism Services of Saskatoon has on families in our communities and others navigating the challenges of autism. That's a wrap for today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms to keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining us on Conversations. Grace and peace be multiplied unto you and yours. Shalom.